One of the things I remember being impressed by in the biographies of Margaret Thatcher was the way she enjoyed a debate. And frankly, I think Corbyn and Sultana live in the same sort of world. What we're watching are the birth pains of the new left-wing political movement, Jeremy Corbyn's Your Party, co-founded with Zara Sultana. And the headlines scream of betrayal, sexism, factionalism and collapse. But step back. Are we really seeing a crisis or simply the messy, inevitable debate that comes when a party is still wet with political paint? Zara Sultana claims she's been excluded by a sexist boys' club, shut out of decision-making and denied the gender-balanced structures she says were promised. Jeremy Corbyn, for his part, insists she acted without authority in launching a paid membership portal and even suggested legal action. Allies line up on both sides. Sultana's supporters say she safeguarded grassroots democracy. Corbyn's circle accuse her of an attempted power grab. The media, of course, delights in all this implosion, civil war, boys' club politics, stories that frame every disagreement as a sign of doom. But one should ask, is this different from the founding quarrels of other movements? Think of the Labour Representation Committee in 1900, split from the start between unions and socialists, or the Greens, where internal fights over leadership models were never stopped them gaining a foothold. Democracy is noisy at birth. Yes, there are serious issues here. Accusations of sexism must be heard. The danger of old Corbynite operators like Carrie Murphy monopolising finance and structures is equally real. Equality and reality can sometimes clash. Unilateral action on data and money creates mistrust and gives opponents a chance to cry chaos. But let's not pretend the left is unique in this. The Conservatives are riven with factions. Reform UK is little more than Nigel Farage's vehicle. Even the governing Labour Party is paralysed by fights over immigration spending and its own soul. So perhaps what we're watching is not implosion, but argument. A movement that claims to be grassroots and democratic must, by definition, wrestle with process. Who controls data? Who manages money? How do members decide the name, the constitution, the leadership? These questions are not signs of collapse, but they're the very substance of party politics and discussion. The media, however, has an incentive to turn debate into melodrama. The right relishes the sight of Corbyn and Sultana squabbling. Centrists whisper, how can they run a country if they cannot run a membership list? And journalists, who thrive on narrative, prefer a soap opera to a seminar. Yet outside Westminster and Twitter, the fact remains that 750,000 people have signed up and tens of thousands are willing to pay, and that suggests hunger for an alternative. The Greens are rising too, yes, but the left is clearly not finished. Whether it's called Your Party, the Left Party, or something else, the project still represents a political opportunity. I must say I rather like Your Party. The danger is not debate itself. Democracy thrives on disagreement. The danger is disengagement. If the public come to see this as mere factional egotism, they will turn away, either back to Labour or to the Greens. As Owen Jones warned, people will switch off. That's the true risk. Not that Sultana and Corbyn argue, but that supporters conclude the argument is pointless. So here is the challenge for both camps, to show that transparency, inclusivity and clear process are not empty slogans, but lived practice. To prove that this is not just about Jeremy Corbyn's legacy, nor about Zara Sultana's personal standing, but about building a structure larger than either of them. If they can do that, then this current row will be remembered as growing pains. If not, the media will have written the obituary of a party that never left the nursery. In other words, debate, yes. Disaster, not really.